Hi, Aries. This is going to be your general message for the month of October 2024. Hope everyone is doing well. Again, this is going to be for the sign of Aries, the Aries archetype. If you resonate with it, if you have prominent Aries placements in your birth chart, hopefully you get a message from today's reading. Hopefully it provides you with some clarity, insight, perspective, validation, truth. All right, so we have two cards out on the table. We have the card of the Father and we have the card of Root. So obviously, just mundane, generally, the Father archetype may be of strong influence this month. So you as a father or your father being a father, something around that. Protectiveness, providing for your family, providing for yourself, being supportive, helping around the house, helping your parents, giving insight and, nourishment, right? Like masculine nourishment to your children, things like that. There may be a lot of things, handiwork to do around the house. And again, this is just all on the surface, mundane type of stuff. You just may find yourself being really busy with mundane tasks that need to be done. And, whether you are female or male, the masculine side of you is coming out this month. Now, if we go a little bit deeper, the message that I'm getting here is very much so in the realms of the internal side of you, okay? The internal masculine energy that we all have and the perspective that you have on it. So I'm getting perspective here. I don't know if some of you are having trouble seeing duty, responsibility, legacy, tradition, protection, things like that, even providing, how can I say, like maybe your perspective on these things is of focus right now. And maybe you don't know it, right? Maybe it's just like you have this, I'm getting that for some of you, you have a closed, narrow mindset. No offense, I'm not judging, around what it means to father. Again, whether you are male or female. I think that there's a lot that maybe you are focused on externally, more in the realms of making money and providing for your family or your husband or father, and you are looking at how they provide for the family, something like that. Could be yourself or the masculine in your life. But it just seems as though a lot of the focus is going on the external part of this energy, creating the money. Where is the money going? The material part of life, and how you are growing that, instead of really going within and focusing on the internal aspects of the father or masculinity. When you think of feminine and masculine energy, it is the masculine that holds space for the feminine side of us to thrive. Okay. So femininity is birthing and creation, right? Which we all have this within us. And so in order for these parts of us to thrive and to come out and to be expressed, the masculine side of us needs to be responsible for the vessel, which is our body, right? Protecting one's essence, protecting one's body, the maintenance of one's body, one's mental capacity, emotional capacity, right? So this is the part of us that takes care of us, right? So we need to take care of ourselves and love ourselves and do things that are right for ourselves in order for the feminine side of us to thrive, as I mentioned. So I don't know if you are finding trouble with expressing your creativity or birthing something And maybe you are too busy seeing it from an outside perspective, as though you don't have enough, you don't have what it takes, you don't have enough money. Maybe some of you are thinking about being a parent and you're too busy thinking about the external part of it, right? The money, the finances part of it, versus thinking about the internal side, right? Because as we know, everything is balanced. Everything is balanced. Everything should be balanced, right? The internal should be just as important as the external. What state are you in when it comes to fathering yourself, when it comes to protecting yourself, loving yourself, standing up for yourself, providing for yourself, right? How do you feel about those topics? How do you feel about that? Like, is it something that you don't want to think about? Or maybe you have some father issues or daddy issues, right? And it comes out in your behavior and how you treat yourself or how you treat the masculines or the fathers in your life. So all of it is correlated to, as we know, the traumas that we go through in our childhood and how we were molded, the experiences that we had then, whether reflecting back, right, you can say they weren't as bad as you thought they were. And for some of us, yeah, they were pretty bad. But they happened how they happened, and they happened for a reason. They did mold us into the adults that we are today. Therefore, we created defense mechanisms and certain types of behavior because of those experiences. Some of you may actually have daddy issues, right? To where your father wasn't around, disappeared in and out. And the father card in this deck does speak about that. This duality of being present and disappearing, because the father does that. Whereas the mother concept is always present, whether the mother is actively, physically present in your life or not, you always have that connection to the mother archetype because you were born, you were created, you were developed in the womb. But the father always has this distant, intangible type of essence to it, right? So when it comes to how you, like I said, father yourself, can you think of how it relates to your own relationship with your father? When it comes to your fathering capabilities and how you father others, whether you're male or female, can you think of how that relates to the relationship with your father? And the other part of this is some of you are too focused on the money aspect of fathering, which is providing, compared to the masculine nurture that is necessary here. This card is making me feel that your perspective needs to change and go within and really work on how you are fathering yourself and others from an internal, emotional, self-awareness type of perspective, and not so much the external. Once you nourish this internal side of your fathering, then your external father concepts will start to flourish as well. And all of this dried up grass here, as you can tell, will start to gain green color again. These pennies will start to turn into more, right? So there is an element here of failure, not enough, not doing enough externally. But in order to, again, nourish that part and grow this part, you need to go within. And the root here is associated with this in the fact that there is a lack of nourishment, okay? Because the root is the underbelly of everything. This is the foundation here. The root system is always present, right? It's just a matter of, are you nourishing the plant or the tree or whatever, or are you not? And once you stop nourishing the plant, then the roots are going to dry out as well, right? And so again, this is telling me go underneath, go within, and really nurture those internal parts of you. You're not going to be able to get to the stability that you are looking for by continuing to focus on the lack, continuing to focus on the failure. All right, nourish the root system within you so that way the external part of you can flourish. If you think about a plant, that plant, you see a beautiful plant, right, that is healthy, that is full of foliage, whatever it is, you know that the roots are taken care of, right? You know that that plant has a strong root system underneath. You see a plant that's dying, you know, that isn't being taken care of, whatever, obviously those roots are also struggling. Okay, so again, concept here for October is fathering yourself and looking at this part of you internally, not so much externally. There's something within you that you have to take a look at in order to start to see the momentum when it comes to the external part of you here. And if it's not a money situation where you want, you know, your business to grow or make more money or whatever, this could be a lack of willingness to protect, nurture, guide, defend other people, right? Like, is there an element of you or the father in your life, the masculine in your life, being absent, not showing up the way they have to show up, the way you want them to show up? And if so, why? If so, why is that happening? What is that person going through, or what are you going through, right? Again, there's more there's more to this situation that meets the eye. Now, this is either for yourself, you're going through this, your husband, maybe your father, you as a father, I don't know. But some way, some shape, this concept is prevalent here in the month of October, 2024. All right, let's see what the cards have to say. Let's pull some tarot. We're going to go into your personal energy for the month of October. Aries, please. What is in the personal energy for the Aries group that I'm picking up on today? For October 2024. Aries. And I was feeling like a little emotional as I was tapping into your energy. Like, if the Aries doesn't get enough credit, I feel like the Aries right now is feeling a lot of pressure and expectation, you know, and it did feel like when a family is dependent on the father and it's just the father that has to provide and has to feed the, you know, put food on the table and pay the bills and all that, right? Like, and there's all these expectations on this father figure, and nobody ever stops to think about, like, what is the father going through? Is the father emotionally okay? Does the father have time to take care of themselves and love themselves? Who is loving the father, right? So maybe there's something around that is going on right now with you guys. So something to keep in mind, if, you know, this isn't you, like, reach out to your dads, you know, or whoever this provider is in your family. Are they okay? And it does make me feel like, you know, this is you, Aries, like, yeah, like, I don't know, let's just say from another perspective, you being the first sign of the zodiac, right? And all of this expectation that you're a warrior and you are ruled by Mars and you're, you know, fearless and you can get things done. And, you know, everybody can always depend on an Aries, right? And I mean, yes, that's all awesome and amazing, but like, how are you feeling? You know, how are you feeling? Who's looking out for you? And maybe that's a thought process that you're having right now. Like, damn, you know, I've been here for my family, you know, I do everything that I need to do and it's never enough. Or, they're never happy, you know. And it is, sometimes we do want that acknowledgement, right? Sometimes we want to feel and really know that our what we provide and what we contribute to the family is appreciated. And maybe you don't feel that at this time. And if that is the case, then look at the foundation of the family, right? Like the root system of your family and what you are creating as the father, whether you're male or female, and where are the gaps there? You know, what part of the root system needs nourishment, right? Does it need a different type of soil? Does it need, you know, do you need to feed the plant? You know, like there's something missing here. And if you can provide it, you can bring this root system back to life and let it flourish again. All right. So in your personal energy, you have the Two of Wands. What else, please? We also have Mars in Cancer right now, and it's going to go back and forth into a retrograde later on as well in the sign of Cancer into 2025. So it's going to go into Leo, and then it's going to retrograde into Cancer again. So Mars, your ruling planet, it does not love to be there. Okay, it's not its favorite sign. It's not its favorite place in the sky to hang out. Cancer is the sign of emotions, right? It's the ocean. It rules emotion. It's the water sign, the cardinal water sign. So there could be a lot of emotions that have been just under the surface in the root system coming out now. There could be some emotional expression that you're not known for, right? Although they do say that Cancer and Aries are similar, that Cancer is just an Aries that cries. So I don't know. I can see that, you know, we are both cardinal signs, but you know, it's just not normal, right? For you to be so emotional at this time. I mean, so emotional, and maybe at this time you are. And there's a lot of breaking things and cutting things, right? Because Mars represents cutting and slicing, you know, things or whatever. And so there could be some like sharp emotions coming out that are maybe making you a little angry or overly sensitive, over emotional. Maybe you're a little more touchy than normal. And yeah, I think that a lot of this has to do with, are you being appreciated, you know, for all you do? Like that part of you needs to be nourished as well. And if you have a partner or a family that isn't appreciating you, your emotions may be coming out. There could be maybe some passive aggressive type of behavior, because Cancer can be like that. You know, just that touchiness, right? And so I would just recommend that you try your best to be as open and upfront as possible. If you are feeling emotional, if you are feeling off, if you want to speak up and say like, hey, like this is messed up. I do so much for this family. I do so much for so-and-so, whatever. Like, I'm like, y'all need to stop treating me this way or something like that, right? Like sort of just trying to be as direct as you can. Like I said, try to stay away from the passive aggressive emotional manipulation that Cancer is known for. No offense, I am a Cancer, so I know. Anyway, so we have the Two of Wands and the Lovers in your personal energy. I think this is great. Maybe relationship is, you know, a topic at this time in October. A choice here with the Two of Wands, needing to make a choice on a relationship. If you are single, maybe you're dating, or you want to get into a relationship and you have to make a choice between the two. But it's just like, what do you need to do to feel good? You know, maybe you're presented with, do I continue to work my ass off, right? And not nourish myself, or do I put myself first and, you know, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's like the hiccups or something. Or I try to feel good, Because the Lovers, even though it does stand for, you know, a relationship, making a choice, it's also like the feeling of bliss, the feeling of like when you are in that beginning stage of a relationship and the both of you really like each other, right? Like no matter what happens, everything is great. There's a smile on your face, right? Like you could be having the worst day, but when you're in that phase of a relationship, you feel good. So it is maybe you wanting to feel that again. But there is a definite choice here. Both of these cards have to do with choice. So whatever options you have in front of you, you're definitely contemplating them. You're definitely thinking them through. I think that there's a lot of attraction here, a lot of passion. I think someone is more attracted to the other than it's like somebody has more attraction to their person and compared to how their person feels about them, if that makes sense. It's not the best. It's not like me saying like, oh, you are good in your relationship. Your relationship may be good, but there's something else on your mind, or there's something else on someone else's mind. The choice here. What are you thinking about? You're off thinking about other things. Somebody is off thinking about other things. I don't know. There's a distance and a detachment that I'm feeling here. Even when you are trying to get close to your person or they're trying to get close to you, maybe they don't feel that you're present enough. Maybe you're hearing from them like, you know, why don't you give me attention? Or why aren't you into me as much as I'm into you? Or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of tension in your relationship. Even though this is in your personal energy, it does make me feel that way. Like you're just off in another world. You're thinking about something else. You're just not into it at this time, you know? And that's okay. I mean, if that's the case, it's like, okay, well, why? Why aren't you into it? What is the problem? What is the matter? Do you just need some time alone? Do you need some space? Do you need to go venture off and, you know, have an adventure, right? Which we know that you do that you like that. It's important to understand that, you know, the Aries does need that time. They will be there and they will do for you and they will, you know, support you and encourage you and all of that. But sometimes the Aries just needs to be alone. And they want to have fun by themselves. They want to go and explore and have an adventure on their own. They want to pursue their hobbies and their interests because they have so many. Not to say that you are not on their mind or that they don't love you or whatever, but they need space because they are an individual. That's why it's always this thing of like the Aries being so distant, and even though they're there, there's always this frequency distance, you know? All right, let's go into your love and relationship zone. This is not about a person here in your personal energy. You're definitely presented with options this month in something else. And you're needing to make a choice, the better choice, the choice that fits the option that is the best for you. Go with your gut, go with your intuition. What is in the love and relationship area of the Aries? For the Aries, please. For October 2024, love and relationship for Aries. 5 of Swords. Yeah, it's not the best, like I said. What is going on? Someone feels loss. There's been a loss here. Queen of Swords, definite detachment. Definite detachment. Why is this? Yeah, just too much pressure. You know? Are you being appreciated? I think that for some of you, you have realized that you're not as appreciated as you need to feel, and you have backed off. All right? You've backed off being so overly ready and overly available for your person, or for others, and they're feeling your absence at this time. And I think you're also seeing your person as detached as well. So if you are coupled, you're in a commitment, you know, you're married, there is a definite issue here. Okay, there's something that needs to be addressed. You and your person definitely need to come together and discuss this in order for, you know, change to happen, in order for you guys to nourish your family, your root system here, whatever it is that you're creating or you have created. If you are single or just dating, something like that, I think someone turned you off. Like you've been turned off by someone. Just a little bit like, I don't know, too critical or something like that. Just like, no, it's not for me. This person's not for me. You're going distant. It's just like when two people are just not vibing, you know, like it's not necessarily like someone's fault. Maybe for some of you, something did happen, but sometimes it's just no one's fault. You know, it's just two people are not cool for each other. They're not good for each other. Maybe they're better off as friends or acquaintances or something like that. It's like, okay, we tried, you know, but the physical attraction wasn't enough. And that's okay. But somebody's definitely feeling lost and alone. There's a little bit of regret as well. Maybe some shame. I don't know what happened between the two of you. Did someone go distant? Did someone go MIA? Did someone disappear and then come back? Or maybe there's like this back and forth, in and out type of person in your life. And it's like you have sacrificed so much. For a group of you here, you definitely have sacrificed so much and done so much for this relationship. And for it to just go down the way it has, it's like, what? Somebody has definitely grown cold. The warmth and the love that was once there is not there anymore. And I think that that's another thing that you're looking for. You're looking for the nourishment. You're looking for the warmth here. And this lover's scenario situation is too cold, like I said. Like the way I was feeling with this card, right? The detachment and then the Queen of Swords coming through right under it. Forget it. There is a definite, like this connection has dried itself out. If you want to repair it, nourishment needs to happen. I don't know. Let's go into your career and finances here. Some of you, you're definitely not even interested in meeting someone or talking to someone because you have experienced loss in the past. Okay, so you're just not there. You're just like, no, you're not dating. You're not up. Like that's not up for discussion. In your career and finances, you have the 3 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. So something is not taking, it's how can I say, it's not happening the way you want to. And look, I understand that this reading, there's a lot of challenges, okay, and maybe a perception of negative message here. And it's just, sometimes that's just life. Sometimes we're in a state of challenge. We're in a state of dryness or coldness or detachment, like whatever it is. We are human. We fluctuate. We go through different phases. But I just want to reiterate the fact that, remember, your ruling planet is in the sign of Cancer. It is not at its power at this point. Okay. It is being submerged and it is drowning in water. It is in emotion. All of the fire is turning out. The water is turning out your fire at this time. And that's just how it's going to be for the rest of the year, unless you identify it and learn how to work with it, because there is a positive side to this. And the positive side is that this is the prime time for you to work on your emotions. Again, water. It's a prime time for you to work on your relationships. Again, water, right? Water rules emotion, relationship, love, internal psychic sensitivities, right? Your higher self, your sixth sense, even all of these deep internal parts of ourselves that maybe sometimes we don't put too much focus on. So this is a time, although on the surface, again, it looks dry. On the surface, it looks cold. But inside, there's so much nourishment that needs to happen and take place, right? So when Mars comes out of this sign of Cancer, goes into Leo for good, another fire sign, you're ready. You're ready to get things going. You're ready to initiate. You're ready to take action with that fire energy. You're ready to transmute and make change. And, that's the right time for things to start happening. Right now, you're just not as energetic. There's a lot going on. And if you're thinking to yourself, like, why am I feeling like this? It's okay. Cut yourself some slack. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's a phase. Whether you believe in astrology or not, I don't know. But, that's a definite influencer, right? That your ruling planet is about to go retrograde in a water sign. So, all right. Anyway, so you have the Three of Wands and the Nine of Swords. This is why I wanted to reiterate that, is because in your career and finances, it doesn't look the best either. You're definitely stressed out. There's something that you're waiting for. You've been waiting for this for quite some time. You've set something in motion. You started a process here, and it just hasn't come to fruition. And I'm telling you, it's not the time for things to happen. Okay, there's a standstill here for the Aries and the cardinal signs as it relates to taking action and movement that the fire element is known for. This thing that you started, it's playing on your abilities. It's playing on you, on who you are as a person. It's like you have a lot of pride for this, whatever it is that you initiated or whatever it is that you're waiting on. You associate yourself with it. It could be your own creation, your own idea. It could be something that you worked really hard for. And it's playing on your worth and it's playing on your self-value. The longer it takes for this to come to fruition, the longer it takes for you to receive this result or whatever, the more you start to feel like you're not good enough, like you don't deserve it. The idea wasn't good enough. You're starting to go through this psychological thing here, especially paired with the Nine of Swords. All of this stuff about your self-worth and all of that is not real. Okay. This is also coming through with the issues, the daddy issues here. Look back, do the shadow work. This is your time. It's your turn. It seems like, right? Like every month it's another sign's turn to really look within and reflect. It could just be in October, this is your turn, right? To really go internal. There's nothing wrong with you. You are perfect, okay? The way you are, like, there's nothing wrong. Don't allow this waiting period to play on your self-worth and you know, who you are as a person and what you believe about yourself. I don't like this for you. You're too good. You're too powerful. You're too capable. Like, this is not you. Whatever this is, either it's not time for this to happen right now, or it's just not yours. Like, it's not yours, right? Like, if it doesn't come through, it doesn't come through. Like, get off of this for a bit. Get your mind off of this, you know, focus on something else. You already put something into place. It's already, the process has already started. The result, the outcome is out of your hands. Put it away. Forget about it. If you can, as much as you can. Start working on something else. Start creating something else. Start, you know, focusing on another part. And I understand if this is like you're waiting for actual money and you need this money. Instead of waiting and feeling sorry, do something else, okay? While you're waiting, get out there and go to plan B. Pretend that this didn't happen. Go to plan B. And in the future, if this is meant to happen, it will happen and it'll just be a plus because you're already working on something else. But don't let it deter you and allow you to get in your head and to start thinking all of these crazy things about yourself and all of the what ifs that are not real. Okay? Like, what if this happens? What if I don't get it? Then what? Or whatever. Like, this world is so magical. Again, a change in perspective. However you're thinking that you need to provide, you have a one-track mind of that. It's like, I could, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. Like, maybe for some of you, you think the only way for me to make money is if I have a 9-to-5 job and I work for a corporation, right? Like, that's the only way for me to make money. But there's a missing element to that because there are so many other ways to make money. You just have to open your mind. You know, you have to experience something that you've never experienced before. Successful people are successful because they take a risk, because they risk losing everything for something that they believe in, right? People that do not take those leaps, people that are not brave enough to make those changes will stay in their situation and never get out. And sometimes the universe actually pushes us out of these situations because it gets tired of waiting, right? We're not supposed to be there. If things are wrong and things are not working out, it's because you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be somewhere else, right? If you are resisting the change, because you have a one-track mind or here on how to do something, maybe a little stubbornness, right? Eventually the universe is going to push you out of this thing if you're not meant to be here. But I think that because you're in this situation to begin with, it's not supposed to happen, right? Like, when do we get out of denial? When do we see things for what they are? If things are not good, if it doesn't feel good, then you're not supposed to be there, right? And it's the same thing. Like, let's just say you're in the relationship and you're not feeling good with this person. I'm not saying to leave the person altogether. Maybe for some of you, yeah, you have to. But if you're not supposed to be in this state, do something about it. Talk about it. Make change. Be open and communicate and compromise, right? Like, take the action. The fire element is the part of the transmutation process that literally changes the thing. The action, the fire represents action, right? So when you take the action, you make the change physically. So again, the sign is if it doesn't feel good, you're not supposed to be there. Make a change, do something different. All right, let's get into an 8-card spread now. What else is coming through for October? in October for the sign of Aries. Beautiful. Ace of Cups. Yeah, look at water flowing. Emotions flowing. Good. I like this. 9 of Pentacles. Love, love, love that. You're not in as bad of a situation as you think you are. Look around. You are stable. Look around. You have what you need. If you want anything more, then great. But that doesn't mean you're in a bad situation. Your stability and the roots, the nourishment of the roots, like this is it right here. The 9 of Pentacles has to do with your financial stability, your material stability, what you have created for yourself, all of the work that you've put in to create the life that you have. You wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for the love that you have for your family, for yourself, for the situation, right? Remember why you do the things you do. There's something tied to your love and to your emotion here when it comes to what you're building or what you have built. If you're building something and you're creating something, this is money, and it's not working out and it's drying out, it's because you're disconnected from your heart. Very similar to the Leo reading. I don't know if any of you are associated with Leo, but they had something similar. Oh my God. Can you see that? The star. You're good, Aries. Definitely. This first row here is a huge contrast to all of this that we were picking up on. You have the 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is like, are you sabotaging everything that you've built and created here? Because you can definitely be at your peak moment, at your highest moment of power, of authority, of, how can I say, like, just being seen and having your wishes come true, and, you know, all of the hope and the stuff. Like you were, what is this? Hold on. I'm picking up on like a dreamer. Okay. A dreamer, the hope, like a true dreamer believes with all of their essence, all of their spirit, all of their heart, you know, that they can achieve something, that something can happen for them. Somebody here is like a true dreamer. They can get to this higher state of financial security, financial status here. Somebody is like pouring all of their love, all their passion, all of themselves into building this thing. And even though we have these moments where we believe in something so much and we're working at it and we're excited and we're having fun with it, yes, there's always those moments where we get discouraged and we lose belief here a little bit, right? Or, you know, our traumas sneak up on us and we start thinking horrible things about ourselves, right? It's like, what if I can't do it? And we start to think like that when we are super, super close to the thing that we want. Actually, I was just talking about that. Like, once you start to feel like at the lowest, this is never going to happen. Like, you are done, discouraged completely, you get a breakthrough, you know? So it does feel at the, like something is coming through. There's hope. There's hope here. But you have to remember why you're doing it. And the nourishment of oneself is key. What else, please, for the Aries? God, this is all crooked, isn't it? Two of Wands, which was your first card out. So the middle of October is when you will be faced with this choice. And again, you're looking somewhere. You're looking somewhere else. Three of Cups. Something else has got your attention all of a sudden. If you were feeling this way, all of a sudden, like when you hear this message, because I know I'm a little bit late in October, so I'm already like a week into October, something catches your attention here. And this is like, you want this. You are starstruck, starry-eyed, wide-eyed, excited. How do you get when you really are excited about something and you really want something? Like, that is noticeable. People notice that. There could be a lot of hanging out with friends, group activities, socializing, just feeling really good in your social environment. But somebody here has their guard up. Somebody is being a little defensive. I don't feel that it is you. This person, this card is just standing out in a different way for me. I'm hearing you have someone upside down, or like they don't know. What is this? Like somebody is, and I know that this may be a little low vibey, like toxic type of relationship stuff, but somebody is just like upside down about you. Okay, so maybe you've created some distance here, and the other person is like, what is happening? And where is my Aries? I think that they're a little touchy. I think that they're a little upset. You may be getting dressed, going out, having fun, making plans. And maybe some of this has nothing to do with them. You know, maybe it's just like I said, you need your time. You need to go out and have an adventure by yourself. Maybe you just need a little bit of space or whatever. But in any relationship that you're in, you do need to feel that, right? Like you need to feel independent, even when you are married or in a relationship. So, I don't know, maybe this person is taking it seriously. But I'm getting defensive vibes here. At the end of the month, yeah, I mean, you feel really good. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, there's just so much fun to be had. Maybe you're going to some parties, Halloween parties. There's a lot of attention. You have some attention on you here as well in October. There is a definite like reciprocal energy coming through late in the month. You feel like the lovers at this point. You feel good in a relationship or connecting with someone at this time. And if it's not someone else, maybe you feel good connecting with yourself. You are loving yourself. You're giving to yourself. You're nourishing these roots and growing the tree, which in turn is going to grow the external as well. Look at that. Like literally, if you can see the depiction of this branch is growing money, is growing things, like growing solid, good foundations, good behaviors, good feelings inside of her. And therefore, it's growing outside of her as well. Can you see that? This is the root. This is what we were talking about. You need to nourish yourself so your external situation can be nourished. And I think at some point you find the trick, you realize that something happens where it's like, you're right, or not, I'm right, but like, you're right. But it's like, yes, this is what I need. I need to take care of myself. I need time for myself. I need to feel good here with the 3 of Cups, right? Like this emotional fulfillment. Let it out, release it, cry about it, identify it, know the gaps. Where is it that you need to put attention, that you need to put that love, that nourishment, and then start to work on that. Yeah. So this here, I mean, it's just obstacles. This could be your person, or it could just be other things that don't like this for you, or that aren't on board with this phase that you're in, or something like that. I'm also getting tantrum, like somebody's throwing a tantrum here. Like when they throw themselves on the floor, or when kids throw themselves on the floor, right? But like this could potentially put a block here onto your process, your healing process, because you're definitely healing. This, whatever it is that you're waiting for, because the 3 of Wands is coming out here as well. It's going to happen. It's going to come through at the end of the month. But yeah, just stay strong, stay open, take it slow with yourself, right? Remember to love your heart and nourish your heart. If you need to have some conversations and be open with people, do that. If you need a good cry, do that. Just stay with the hope here of whatever it is that you're creating, the life that you're creating, and try your best to just have a good time, have fun with this process of healing, and use the next 3 months or so for that. And I'm telling you, once we're back here in January of 2025, then we'll be ready, right, with this forward movement and this fire energy again. But for now, it's just going to feel a little off, a little weird. So just take it day by day and work on yourself. And every day, just remember that you're good. You are okay. You are worth it, right? I hope this helps somebody. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month of October. If it resonated with you in any way, click the like button. That will really help the video circulate. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And I do have my email address in the description of this video if you want a one-on-one reading. They're very similar to this. Just shoot me an email. I'll get back to you and we'll set something up, okay? All right. Thank you so much for your time and energy, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.